even still, it's not easy to understand Krishna. And so the more surrender, the more bhakti, the more loving devotion, then the more is revealed. Krishna says, as you surrender unto me, then I reveal myself to you accordingly. So Krishna ultimately is establishing that parampara through all other Vedas, all other yugas, all other yuga dharmas, all other different aspects of purification in Ashtanga yoga, meditation, sacrifices, costly sacrifices, deity worship, rules, regulations. These are all different types of gradual purification processes, different types of tapodivyam that are different yuga dharmas in different yugas. And so, of course, the Lord himself says that I come incarnate to establish the religious principles in that particular yuga. He establishes the yuga dharma. So when the Lord wants to establish yuga dharma, then he himself comes, he incarnates himself, and he reestablishes the religious principles. Prabhupada was saying that when Krishna says that why he comes, why he descends, that he comes also to destroy, to kill the demons. But Prabhupada said to Krishna, anyway, he can send anybody to go and kill the demons. That's not so difficult thing. Why he has to come? But primarily he's coming to give pleasure to his devotees, to reenact these kahanis, these pastimes, Radha and Krishna, Lila, Braja, Lila. So he's coming to enact those pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees, and at the same time to protect them, and then also he's destroying demons or the demoniac tendencies in the living entities in order to create an atmosphere where his devotees can feel sheltered and protected and to be able to practice a spiritual life. So Prabhupada explains that Bhagavan, Bhakta, Bhakti, they're not of the material world. That's going on all in that Shuddha Sattva platform in transcendental world, the Vaikuntha. So when Krishna comes, he brings his Dham and his devotees and his pastimes, and he performs all of those leelas and pastimes for the pleasure of his devotees, and also to gradually purify and maybe attract other living entities who may see or hear or read about those pastimes. So such a nice description in Srimad Bhagavatam in 3rd canto is talking about Vaikuntha, and so amazing descriptions of what is really going on in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world. And we're coming from Christianity, you know, Jesus said I'm the Son of God, and the Father, he's there in heaven. And then you say, well, what's going on with the Father in heaven? And they cannot say anything about that. So there's no description, there's no explanation, there's nothing to attract you, to attract you and to increase the intensity of your desire to want to achieve that destination. So because they don't have that, there's no way to purify or attract towards that. You can attract towards personality, but if the whole point is to going back home, back to Godhead, back to spiritual world, then it says you should know something about it, and you should be enchanted and purified and inspired, and maybe even develop a desire to want to attain that place, that destination, since this life is a preparation for the next life. And because they don't have that in other religions, therefore this Vedic culture, Vedic knowledge is very unique, and explains that nobody can understand what's happening in the spiritual world, in material consciousness, just by speculation. Rather, only you can hear about it from those personalities who are from that place, and what their descriptions are within bona fide authorized Shastra scriptures. So if you can hear from them, those who are from that place, and then they're describing from bona fide authorized Shastra about that location and those personalities and what are those activities that is going on there. So all of that is meant to be heard. Without hearing from bona fide, again, hearing from bona fide authorized authorities, Guru Sadhu and Shastra, no one can know anything about that place or get purified or develop a spiritual attraction or even a desire to want to go to that place. Now, I was making joke today, talking to devotees, in Christianity, then they don't have all those answers to attract you to that location, but they just say, well, otherwise the option is you can rot in hell eternally. Okay, we get that concept, right? So that's some kind of motivation. That doesn't sound very nice, right? But Prabhupada said, but you need something positive. You need something on the positive side. So when you hear about Krishna and his dealings and how humble, he's taking such a humble position, taking all responsibility, glorifying, protecting his devotees, it's so sweet and so attractive behavior and qualities and dealings that it's really what we're really looking for, what we really want to become, and who we want to really associate with are people who have this type of consciousness and qualities and behavior and dealings. It's so attractive and sweet. Otherwise it's also so disturbing and violent and exploitative and not nice in the prison house. So we need the positive, alternative, something to say, oh, that sounds like the place we need to go. So that the more we can hear on the positive side about Krishna, Krishna's devotees, their dealings, and the nature of that Dham, there's no old age, disease, and death. Everything and everyone is personal and beautiful. It was saying that the Denzians or the residents of Vaikuntha, the most advanced devotees, they're driving in airplanes, and they have all of their loved ones with them, friends, and the planes are made out of like gold and platinum and gems and precious stones and diamonds and like these type of planes, and they're just flying around, and as they're flying around they're glorifying Krishna. They're going back and forth, they're hearing and chanting, glorifying the Lord, right? As they're driving around Vaikuntha in their airplanes. And then it's saying that the wind is blowing, and it's like blowing like fragrances from the most, wonderful flowers. And it says the air is filled with like honey. So the air is coming with honey and the smell of like fresh flowers. And it's so nice. But the devotees on the plains who are trying to glorify and hear about Krishna, they're disturbed by this type of wind because they don't want any sense gratification. So they know it's there, they know it's nice, but they don't want it to be in such a way that it becomes a distraction from the pleasure that comes from hearing and chanting about Krishna. So, like, what is this place? Right, some fresh flowers and some honey, in the air, and it's like this is like a distraction. So how's our hearing and chanting going? So when you just read it, it's like, people can only say, well, impersonalists will say, no, then it's material, because if it's variegated, and there's all these different varieties and personalities and persons and forms, and therefore it cannot be spiritual. Therefore it just must be some type of materialistic, because they want an impersonalistic conception, a voidism like this. And then otherwise people say, well, this is fantastical, this is like mythological. Everyone has four arms, and they're exquisitely beautiful, and they look exactly like the Lord in Vaikuntha. And they have the same dress, the same beauty, the same form. Nobody's old, no disease. And you say, well, this is just, I can't imagine a place like that. We only see like two-handed people, unless they're like really diseased or something. Sometimes it happens, you see, like in India, like people have like extra hands or extra fingers. They make like a big deal of it. It's like it's some kind of auspicious thing, you know? Isn't it? This is a reflection from Vaikuntha, you know? He's got 15 fingers, you know? It's like... Anyway, so I'm sorry to break the meditation on Vaikuntha. So then, because these things are so far beyond our conception, it's very easy to say, that's just unbelievable. And Prabhupada said that it's just meant to be heard, and if you're fortunate, you'll be able to understand and be attracted by that, by all of that. If you're unfortunate, you won't like it, you won't accept it, you'll come up with some excuse. Prabhupada said that, you know, you can't say why it can't be like that. You can't just say, no, I can't believe it's like that. Well, why? And then they cannot say. So these are not something that, you know, it's all going on whether you understand it or not, whether you can conceive of it or not. And it's, what is it, Achintya Beta Beta Tattva? Oneness and different, fourth dimensional information beyond all material senses, mind, and intelligence. This is not something you're going to like come to your own conclusion of whether to accept it or not. It's just meant to be received. And then if you understand, Prabhupada said, if you understand the greatness of the authorities of the Lord and the Lord's devotees, and all of those authorities within the Vedic culture, within bona fide authorized sampradaya, and you understand the sophistication and elevated nature of the topics within the Vedic literatures, and you understand about previous civilization and culture that was here. I was showing devotees a video where they did underwater investigation and they found Dwarka, and they're trying to say it's from so many thousands of years ago, and there's like all these buildings under the water, and there's like 900,000, you know, like castles, all made of like the highest level of marble and stone and gems, but in an inundation of the water, then everything is underneath the water. So this goes against all of their presentation. Their whole reality is based on suppression of the actual reality. So then they just call something that they don't understand, or that is a challenge to their perception or their presentation of what they want to be the history of the reality. They just deny a Vedic culture, a Vedic civilization, and the Vedas, the knowledge themselves. So if Krishna doesn't come, he doesn't speak to Lord Brahma, it's not passed through bona fide sampradaya, bona fide disciplic succession, it was not compiled by Srila Vyasadeva in the scriptures, especially the Vedas in Kali Yuga. Previously there were no books, only Kali Yuga, because everyone has some less intelligence and little to no memory. Therefore it has to be written down and it has to be repeated again and again and again in order to be able to remember and think about those particular topics. Be careful. So we need some better information. We need some higher, transcendental, eternal. Prabhupada says it's not that this is old information, this is eternal information. And in all these cultures, it's like forget about the past, it's old, forget about the history, forget about the, spirituality and religion and wisdom passed down through the ages. This is all old. You just have to speculate now and create some new progressive way of thinking what is what and what is the point and what is the conclusion. You have to just concoct some new, some new understanding based on a new version of mental speculation. Nothing's new. It's all just different variations of the same Maya, just presented maybe a little bit differently externally, but internally it's more or less the same stuff. So it just has to be heard, just has to be received from bona fide authorized sources. So we talked about Asanga the other night. Someone was saying, what is Asanga? How do you know what is Asanga? So it says that the only thing that to be heard is to hear from Krishna and Krishna's disciplic succession, parampara, and to surrender there. Another bull in the china shop. Poor Sham, he's sitting there, Adam comes in, throws a few elbows, this guy's leaning on his head, Sham's like, what to do? What to do? I hope these guys are alright, As long as they don't land on you, it's another story. So those who accept, who really sincerely, seriously want to surrender to Krishna, they get bona fide Guru. That means they're receiving those two mercies. They're agreeing to come under the control and to be disciplined and instructed by Krishna, by Guru. Put unflinching faith in Guru Sadhu and Shastra. They're not saying I, me, and mine. They're saying, no, I belong to Guru and Krishna. We're cooperating, trying our best to cooperate and serve within the mission of Guru and Krishna. So those people who have that kind of faith, that kind of surrender, that type of commitment, that type of determination, who can pass the tests, Maya's tests, and still stick and find a way to stay strong in nice association based on hearing and chanting, that's satsanga. Anyone who's not doing like that, who doesn't understand that, not surrendered, not cooperating, still just speculating, maintaining their own independence, doing as they like, that's asatsanga. So who's under discipline, who's under control, who's allowing and cooperating Guru and Krishna to move us, to engage us according to the will and the desire of Krishna and spiritual master. That's devotee. That's one who wants to be devotee. If we're not doing like that, it's asat. It's asat. We're being guided, controlled by Maya. So if we're not getting two mercies of Krishna, bona fide Guru, we're not taking shelter of the instructions, not making the instructions life and soul, not going through that process of purification, allowing ourselves to be disciplined and purified, freed from this false ego platform, not giving up our independence. Everyone's afraid to do like that. We're trusting ourselves because we think we belong to ourselves. We know what's best for ourselves. That's asat. That mentality, that misunderstanding is based on prompting of Maya. It's asat sangha. So I was thinking, what's an easy definition? Is try to find out those who have unflinching faith in Guru Sadhu and Shastra, who receive mercy of Krishna, bona fide Guru, taking shelter of orders, instructions of the spiritual master in order to please them and get their mercy, dedicated to hearing and chanting the absolute truth with no compromise, no twisting, no changing, not adding anything, not subtracting anything. I mean, very conservative understanding and presentation. doing for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, not for popularity, not to become famous, not to be appreciated or glorified or worshipped. We should be clear on these definitions. Especially Mahaprabhu says that if you're really serious about spiritual life, the first thing you must do is asatsanga tyaga. They give up asatsanga. And instead, or how to do that, to do satsanga, sadhu sanga, sadhu sanga, sadhu sanga. So make that our association. Make that kata and those discussions and communication based on absolute truth with no compromise. As it is, Prabhupada said. When I was explaining this to this one Maharaj, he said, "Oh, this is too serious, you know. Oh, you're going in that way. You're going in that way. Wow. Oh, they're not bona fide. It's illegitimate. It's self-made. Oh, you're going that way. Oh, you're seeing it like this, huh? You're presenting it like this. Oh, oh. Like kind of like, good luck with that. Good luck with that one." It's not the easy way, but it's the sure way. And unless we fix up the goal, and unless we understand what is the path of perfection, then we've not actually surrendered. We've not been allowed ourselves to be convinced by the mercy of Krishna, mercy of Krishna's devotee. Means we're still holding back, hesitating. Prabhupada said you're not trusting Krishna. You're still holding on to your own minute independence, thinking you know how to manage your life better. That's all asat. Asat thinking, asat consciousness, asat motivation. That's asat sangha. So we're our own worst enemy. If we're listening to this stupid mind and sentimentality and mental speculation and independently plan making and concocting, manufacturing some path under our own steam, according to our own calculation, that is not servant, that is not disciple. That will not get you mercy and blessing from Guru Krishna. I'm trying to think of all the things we were reading and talking about today. That was a lot of it, right? But I found it quite amazing that such great personalities are listening with open heart, open ears, open mind, purified heart, no material desire, and still they don't understand. So how do you explain that? Of course, they're in Vaikuntha. They got that mercy. They got the personal darshan of the Lord, but still don't fully understand. Question of bhakti. Gopis perfectly understand. Right? Those 4 rasas in Goloka Vrindavan, only they know Krishna. Only they understand absolute truth. Otherwise, it's bewildering. It's too confusing to understand it. But Krishna says to Arjuna, because you're my dear friend, and you have love and affection and faith in me, and you're not envious of me, I'll explain everything to you. Everything of the material world, everything of the spiritual world, everything. Nothing will be left out. And those great devotees, topmost Vaishnavis, they're not studying Shastra. They're not quoting shlokas. They're not practicing Vedic rituals. They're not worshipping the demigods. They just love Krishna, and Krishna is the source of all knowledge and intelligence, and he's just revealing everything, revealing himself. If he reveals himself, then you understand everything. Because everything is connected to Krishna. Nothing separate. And when Mahaprabhu was talking to Ramananda Roy, they were discussing all of these different practices, karma, jnana, yoga, even bhakti, go higher, go higher, go higher. And then it just came down to the best, absolute best thing you can do is Shravanam, and just hearing from the topmost Vaishnavas, just by that Shravanam. Everything will automatically be revealed in the due course of time by their mercy. The essence, the purpose, the conclusion, all of it will be understood in the due course of time by mercy. Not by sadhana, not by jnana, not by scholarship, says not by austerities or giving in sacrifice or performing Vedic rituals, performing all of this different, cultivating knowledge. None of that. Only pure unalloyed devotional service and hearing about that from Krishna and Krishna's most intimate, advanced Premi Bhaktas. And the whole Vaikuntha and everything that's going on there and all of those personalities and all of those pastimes and the holy name, everything will be revealed through Shravanam. That's why it says that all the mercy and the blessing of the Lord's devotee is received through no other part of the body except the ear. That's why I was laughing, there was no lights here. I said, I guess you'll have to try to hear me better, because maybe you can't see me as good. Does anyone have any points or questions they'd like to discuss? Yeah?
Two days ago, I got some experience. I went to the hospital, and one person on my eyes just left the body, and
you had a person on your eyes? Were they too close and then they just left their body? What are you doing so much Asanga for? I got your point.
yes, it's like not good English.
You saw somebody leaving their body?
Yes. In the hospital, and whole family was crying, and I also started to cry.
Oh, so sad.
And I really, I just Krishna showed that how.
And then you came home and started yelling at your husband? What happened to the crying mood?
I really, Krishna shows that this world is full of miseries, and I just prayed that I want to attain lotus feet of Krishna, and so Krishna make me like disappointed of this world like this.
Wow. Looks like we have to have a collective prayer on your behalf. No, it's true. When you go to the hospital, my sister used to work as a nurse in an old age home. So I used to go in there to pick her up after work sometimes. And it was horrible. Horrible condition. Scary. Everyone, you see so much fear, so much anxiety, so disturbing situation. In other cultures, they're hiding the families from all of the reality of old age, disease, and death. Nowadays, because of COVID and all these other diseases created by our governments, and the pharmaceutical companies, now everybody is able to see young people, family members, friends, people in the society dying. We're getting very sick, gravely sick. So it's becoming, and it will become much, much more permanent. Even I saw some reports that different communities in America, they're preparing for more and more suicides because of these drugs, overdose drugs. And once in a while it would be 1 or 2 or 11 or 200, right? So you have like some town of like 20,000 people, and you have 20 or 200 people dying by overdose by drugs. That means it's in everybody's face, isn't it? That's so shocking. All this drug abuse in all wealthy families, educated families. It breaks the whole family up. People in the mental institution, prison, death. So this is Kali Yuga, most degraded, sinful age. So it's good to see the reality. It's shocking, but looks like we need to be shocked into the reality of the danger at every step. Otherwise, everyone's trying to enjoy. Queen Kuti says, let the difficulties come again and again. Because we're in the most dangerous situation, most difficult tests, most painful situation. All you can do, if you're pious, if you're a faithful person, is just pray and cry to God, to Krishna. Please help me. Please protect me. Please give me shelter, understanding how to go through all of this thing. Devotee has that. Other people, they don't have that. That's why they go mad. Or they just overdose or do drugs, or because they have no hope. They have no solution. They have no spiritual solution. So it's a very desperate situation. But for devotee, we're fortunate because we have holy name and we have Krishna's mercy. So we can more seriously, if we understand the danger that we're in, then we can become much more serious in our prayers and in our chanting. And then by Krishna's mercy of holy name, we'll feel some purification, some shelter, some protection. So otherwise you'll go mad. You'll be completely disturbed. Another horse. We need some midgets. We need like these little midgets. I don't think you can say midgets anymore, right? That's like offensive somehow.
Vertically challenged.
I think now you have to say like small people or something. You can't call them midgets. Everyone's offended, isn't it? Even the midgets are offended. Everybody has some grievance. Everyone's a victim. It's like a victim mentality. Woe is me. I've been wronged. So many songs, right? I have been wronged. I've been down, really low. So many songs. Any other points, questions? Anything, can be any topic, no problem. Yeah?
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev.
Haribo.
So in Vaikuntha, everybody looks like the Lord. That's
Yeah.
what I heard. And everybody like has 4 hands and they look like the Lord. Everybody in Vaikuntha.
Yeah. What do you think about that? You want 4 arms? Are you want to look like the Lord? Is that your goal?
No.
Then everyone will think you're beautiful. Then they'll worship you by mistake. Oh, that's not the Lord. I got 4 hands. I got a conch shell. But it says only Dasya and Samsakya rasa is there, right? In Vaikuntha. So higher rasas, Sakya, and parental love. What is it? Vatsalya. And Madhurya, right? All higher rasa, that is there only in Goloka Vrindavan. So that means Mahaprabhu and Krishna and Mahaprabhu, they have to establish parampara, disciplic succession. Because if that goal is to get Krishna Prema, go back to Goloka Vrindavan, then those instructions by the Lord to Arjuna are much different than instructions of Krishna to the sun god in previous millennials, right? So now, because Mahaprabhu is coming, now Krishna wants to give Krishna Prema, now Krishna has to come in original form, not in any other type of incarnation. And when Krishna comes in two-handed form from Vrindavan, Brajabhumi, then Mahaprabhu's coming. Just in the next yuga. So then Krishna coming again as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's giving Krishna Prema. And he's re-establishing those 4 rasas and qualifying us how to serve in those 4 rasas in Goloka Vrindavan. All the other incarnations, all of the other instructions can get you to Vaikuntha, but not Goloka Vrindavan. Unless there's Krishna, only Krishna can give Krishna Prema. And how he gives Krishna Prema is through Mahaprabhu. Not directly. Through Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu's devotees. So Krishna wants everyone to go to him in Goloka Vrindavan, then we need Krishna Prema. Then Krishna has to come as Mahaprabhu to distribute Krishna Prema through that Yuga Dharma of chanting holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But it's explained if you don't hear properly and sufficiently from Tattva Vid Guru, then you cannot chant Shuddhanam. Because without hearing Shravanam, we cannot have sufficient purification of consciousness, we cannot have sufficient faith and transcendental knowledge and understanding how to serve the Lord properly. Otherwise, without that, we're still attached materially, still chanting with offenses, then not sufficient faith, not sufficient transcendental knowledge and understanding all the subtleties of Shuddha Bhakti or Prem Bhakti. That only comes through association of Sadhu Guru Vaishnava. So, without Shravanam, there is no proper Kirtanam. Because if you chant with offenses, Krishna is not manifesting there. So it's not just by your chanting offensively that's going to purify you. It's by hearing from Krishna through Guru Sadhu Sastra, from bona fide Vaishnavacharya, purify your medium of Krishna. If we can hear through that association, then we can get purified and freed from all of this mental speculation, material desire, material attachment, and develop faith in Krishna, in the holy name, in the process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So without proper hearing, there's no purification, there's no cultivation of faith or transcendental knowledge or understanding the consciousness or proper motivation to serve Krishna in a mood of pure loving devotional service. That's why Shravanam is first and most important aspect of devotional service. Make sense?
Yes.
Other thing is, Mahaprabhu said when you're chanting, you have to chant in humble state of mind. Was it like the straw lying on the street? More humble than the blade of grass lying on the street? And then more tolerant than the tree? And we must give respects to one and all, not demand any respect for ourselves. Then you can chant. Then you can chant properly and always. So, is that humility, tolerance, and respect? Does that come by just some mental adjustment, psychological adjustment? Can you just will yourself and force yourself to be completely humble and tolerant and respectful of other living entities with demoniac qualities and demoniac consciousness under the Tamagun and Rajagun? So how you're gonna be humble and tolerant and not run after pratishtha or respect or false prestige? Those qualities of utter humility and being able to tolerate and not looking for any type of self promotion or establishing yourself or looking for pratishtha, that only come on soul platform. Those are spiritual qualities. Those are Vaishnava qualities on the platform of the soul. So without sufficient hearing and cleansing, Cheto Dapanamajanam, how will we come to these qualities of humility and tolerance and not looking for any self-esteem or how do you call it, like respect, prestige, false prestige? That means a purification is required. So if we're in Tamagun Rajagun, are you going to be more humble than the blade of grass moving on the street, laying on the street? Is that possible? Are you going to be able to tolerate, be more tolerant than the tree? We can't tolerate anything, practically speaking, right? We're always trying to establish ourselves. We're always thinking ourselves great. We're always judging and criticizing other people. Envious, jealous of other people. So how are you going to chant without sufficient consciousness, pure consciousness? So that pure Krishna through Purify medium, spiritual master, and by the mercy of Shastra, that has to be heard from the lips to the ear. The whole process of purification is a process of hearing, Prabhupada says. Shota Panta, path of hearing. And that hearing is an eternal function of the soul. So there's no point that your soul will not be hearing. And then it's a question of what are we hearing and who are we hearing from? That's the only difference. One will purify, simplify, elevate, liberate. Other will contaminate and complicate and degrade. Whether it's Sadhu Sangha or Asanga. Very simple. But not easy to do because bodily conception, bodily attraction, so much prejudice according to the liking or disliking of our senses. so much desire for material attachment and material sense gratification. So we cannot hear properly. Therefore we cannot get purified. And therefore we cannot develop faith. Without simplicity, without some purity, which is the opposite of complexity, you cannot hear properly. We'll just be hearing ramblings of our own mind, which is basically prompted by Maya. And what were you saying? What was your? Oh, you wanted to be in Vaikuntha. I got a little distracted from your desire. Any last thing?
One at the back. Someone at the back.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Over there.
Where?
Russian Mataji.
So what?
The dentist.
The dentist. The spirit soul. The dentist. Yes, Bhaktin dentist.
Гурудев, я благодарю вас. Очень для меня ценные сегодня акценты. Получила еще раз нужное время. Переводите ли вам, чтобы немного было?
She's saying thank you that you said like exact things and exact time.
Ну, хотела уточнить еще кое-что.
You're welcome.
Вот когда, если здоров, очень легко воспевать и радостно, может быть, даже чисто получается, ну или, по крайней мере, приближаешься к чистоте. Но когда болеешь, то тогда очень тяжело. Как вы помогите просто как-то настроиться, чтобы помочь себе не прекращать эту практику и ходить на программы? Или все-таки, когда болеешь, нужно все-таки пропустить? Я очень волнуюсь за это.
She's saying that when you healthy,
Speak louder.
she's saying when you healthy, it's like easy to chant.
When you're what?
Healthy.
Oh, when
Yeah.
she's saying when she feels healthy, it's easy to chant.
It's
Do you ever feel healthy? Are you ever fully healthy in your mind? Is your mind healthy?
she's saying yes.
Great. Simply wonderful. Then it's all good. So just stay healthy then. What's your question?
And then she said like when you like you can easily chant is like
Nothing's easy. What's easy in Kali Yuga? What's easy being stuck in this body with this mind, in this planet, in this universe, in Kali Yuga? You tell me what's easy. Krishna says to get out of Maya is very, very difficult. Requires complete full surrender to Krishna. What's easy? You're easily surrendering to holy name chanting?
She's saying when I feel healthy, everything is easy and I'm joyful. Everything is easy and I'm joyful.
Can we shut it off so we don't have to look at everybody?
It's so honest.
It was better before. Now I'm scared. Now I'm terrified.
The inmates.
Now I think it's impossible.
The big mountains.
Before I'm just preaching everything's possible. Then I look at all of you and this is literally impossible. Your son? Little thing. Yeah, it's easy. It's simple. Just chant, take prasad, go back to Godhead. Just stay healthy. Just stay healthy. It's all easy. Easy smeezy. What's easy? Deva, is it easy? Does anyone else find it easy? I guess you're the one rare soul.
She's saying, I'm telling you truth.
That's your truth. That's your truth. That's not the absolute truth, but that's your truth. That's what your mind and false ego is telling you. That's called illusion. That's called Maya. But if you want to think it's easy and it's transcendental, go for it, you know. Out of touch with reality. Because you cannot perceive the adhikar, your actual adhikar. You're overestimating your adhikar because of pride. Pride and arrogance, conceited nature, makes you blind. And when you're blind, you'll overestimate your adhikar or your qualification. So you're living in a big illusion, but you feel fine about it, right? What are you complaining about? Where did we get her? Where did we get her? Mother Lena, where did we get her?
In Siberia.
Oh my God. Maybe we will take you on that trip back to see Jesus. Maybe you can be like Mother Mary. He can be Jesus, you can be Mary. Everyone will sing songs and it will all be, you know, heaven on earth. Sounds easy. Very easy. So you got it all figured out then. You're all set. Just got to stay healthy. Now you see why I said shut the lights off? Her supreme spiritual perfection when she's healthy? Is that what we're talking about? Easy. Shudanam. Just gotta stay healthy. That's all. That's the only thing missing. I almost don't even know what else to say. Maybe you could become an ISKCON Mataji Guru.
He's saying, I don't want to be guru.
Uh-huh. Bob, are you buying that? There's some doubts, some doubts. Maybe you need another guru. Since you've already perfected it, whatever I could do for you. Since that was already so easy, maybe this is too easy for you. Right? This is too easy, man. She needs to go to, some other school. She needs another school. Any other brilliant realizations? I'm so sarcastic, it's horrible. Oh, she won't stop. How did we get so lucky, Mataji? Oh, now she's going to correct me. She's losing her health as we speak. She's losing her mental health. I hope that doesn't blow up. Hope there's no explosives in there. Get the dog to smell that. If it's prasadam, he would have ate it already. That's very nice. I wish you had given me this before I heard your purport. Oh, Krishna.
She's saying thank you.
Another satisfied customer. Anyone else find it really easy? No? What's wrong with us? Oh, we're not healthy. He nailed it. It's a health issue. Yeah. Please, somebody say something else. Can you get me off of this highway? Or tunnel? Can you get me out of this tunnel? Iceland.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
I first would like to ask you, how do I address this coming into my ears and into my heart, and it's doing some magic, like something.
Tell me so far what he said.
So he's getting benefit from hearing some good effect, and he wants to know how to address you, because people are saying Gurudev, and so he wants to know how to address you. Is he getting some benefit?
How would you say that? Maharaj? Maharaj? That's fine. Yeah.
So
That's my official position.
Hare Krishna. So you were mentioning this about
Maybe I'm too rough for him though, I'm worried. I'm a little worried. He's like really nice, soft. I feel a little rough,
I need your help.
Really?
Yes, I need your help. I feel that I need your
I'm
help.
just joking with you a little bit.
So you were saying that the only mercy or going back home to Golok is through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Only mercy?
Only way back to Goloka Vrindavan is mercy of Mahaprabhu.
And Mahaprabhu's devotees. And the path that Mahaprabhu and his devotees have given us, yeah. Hare Krishna. We need a prema. And the problem is right now is Maya is so heavy, and our desire for spiritual life is not so strong. Everything is theoretical. It's not sufficient even to want to get out of Maya things. So we need good association to purify, doing sadhu sangha, satsanga, associating, serving in Guru and Krishna samsara. Then this material attachments, material desires, acting independently, selfishly, sinfully, all of this thing will become weakened, less and less and less. Then if we get the benefit, spiritual benefit by proper hearing and chanting and right association, then we'll understand this is really the solution. Then you have to dedicate yourself to that, so become purified and more attracted to the benefit of doing sadhu sangha, satsanga, and what is those effects or benefits that come in that association. That then becomes more important, more significant. So then we're changing the desire, we're weakening the material desire, trying to increase the spiritual desire by increasing our attachment to hearing and chanting in the association with Sadhu Guru Vaishnava. So that association, that relationship, that hearing and chanting is more significant than any material relationship and material attachment and material discussions and material plans and material sense gratification. Heaven and hell difference. One is satsanga, other asatsanga. So I'm happy you're feeling some benefit. That's only Krishna Mahaprabhu's mercy. Krishna's in the heart. He can purify, he can give intelligence, he can give faith, he can convince you. Otherwise, I cannot convince you. Only Krishna can convince you. So that's between you and your prayers to God, to Krishna. Make sense? You have a napkin or something? Okay. What else? Anything?
It's about transcendental sound, actually.
This one?
He has a question about transcendental sound.
Yeah.
Like I was in a class today. I'm doing the Bhakti Shastri here, and
Did you hear any transcendental sound there?
well, it was
Should have happened, right?
well, that answer for me is that. It was something that.
So what happens is if you really hear transcendental sound by mercy of Guru and Krishna, that sound and the effect of that sound and that experience will give you a certain experience and level of realization and faith. And then you compare that with other so-called transcendental sound, right? Because everyone's saying Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So not everybody, but people who are he's going, no. He's telling Bhakti Shastri, so I'm thinking they're saying something about Krishna, is it? I mean, Bhakti, Krishna. So Prabhupada said you're judged by the effect. You see, because that effect, if Krishna is involved in that, wherever that may be, that effect will be different if Krishna is present. So one katha is coming from intellectual, jnani, scholarly platform. Krishna katha, Hari katha, coming from Krishna, Paramatma, Chetu Guru, coming from soul platform. So if someone's speaking to you on intellectual platform, it can only hit you intellectually. If someone's speaking on soul platform, then potentially, by mercy of Guru Krishna, that katha will hit your soul. It will resonate with your soul. It will be food for the soul. So once, by mercy of Guru Krishna, you get food for your soul, then you can see what is the difference. Without having an actual experience, you can't really compare it, because it's all more or less the same. If you have genuine experience, now you can see the difference by the effect, by the results of that hearing process. Prabhupada said that's the way, is that you judge by the results. So the first thing, common sense, is, are they speaking Prabhupada's books and teachings as it is? Not concocting, not adding, not subtracting. That's the first practical way you can quickly know. Let's talk about Srila Prabhupada's books and teachings. So how do you discuss Guru Tattva and being a guru in a disciplic succession and never refer to Prabhupada's books and teachings and instructions? That was mind-blowing. Then they gave me a certificate. And they misspelled spiritual. So I took that as like a sign, you know. They couldn't even spell spiritual. So I had opportunity to hear from really bona fide Vaishnavacharya. So I can see the difference. I can hear the difference. I can see by the results the difference. Every question I had, every doubt that I had cleared, everything became reconciled according to Guru Sadhu Sastra. Then you can understand this is bona fide, authorized, empowered representative.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Answers everything. Thank you.
Did we answer it? Sure. Yeah. Pray to Krishna in your heart. Because if we have some complications, some contamination, some misunderstandings, misconceptions, it's not exactly clear. But if you pray to Krishna, Chaitya Guru Paramatma, Krishna says, I'm in the heart, I'll give you intelligence and faith. Don't try to figure it out up here. Go to Krishna in your heart and ask him directly, please give me 100% faith, one way or the other, whether you're manifesting there or not manifesting there. Ask Krishna. Otherwise, it's like, well, sometimes I think it's manifesting, and sometimes I don't think it's manifesting. And the next day, oh yeah, I think it's manifesting. And then the next night, I don't know if it's manifesting. So if you see yourself accepting and rejecting, that's symptom of mental platform, not soul platform. If Krishna convinces you, he'll convince you on soul platform. Then it doesn't matter what your mind even is saying, this way or that way, because Krishna already convinced you. So pray to Krishna if you're serious. He'll help you. All right? Thank you. Hare Krishna. This is Bhakti Shastri. Anybody else? How about you? What's your story? Yeah. Yeah. He's the Indian. American Indian. They steal everything from India. Isn't it? It's American Indian.
You're always asking what we want
I'm
to talk
thinking about how easy it is after listening to Mataji. I'm like, what's wrong with me, man? I think I'm overthinking this whole thing. I'm feeling really stupid right now, to be really honest with you. I'm feeling like a fool. I'm thinking it's more complicated. I'm trying to track back, like where did I go wrong, you know? At which point did I start thinking this is actually not easy? Oh yeah, when I realized what my mind was saying. Oh yeah, so okay, yeah. Yeah, that's not easy.
So, is there some benefit that we can receive from, let's say, like a devotee or disciple or something has some self-realizations that they've made?
What's self-realization? That means soul. So if you realize the soul, that means you realize the super soul. And that means you realize that you have eternal loving relationship with Krishna, and that we are eternal servants of the Lord. So that's self-realization. If you just realize theoretically you're a soul, that's not enough. Prabhupada says you have to act on the platform of the soul. And acting on the platform of the soul means we're realizing that we are eternal servant of Krishna. So short of that, what realization do you have that's factual, that's actual, that you want to try to share?
So unless someone is authorized to preach by bona fide authority, then there's no real realization that can be shared?
Not really. Because it's all false ego platform. And not sufficient purification, not sufficient freedom from misunderstanding, misconception, still bodily concept, false ego platform, still wanting to establish ourselves, still demoniac qualities, lust, greed, envy, pride, arrogance. So all the qualities of demoniac, desires and attachment of demoniac. Our understanding is misconceived, misunderstood, and theoretical at best. So what realization is on Tamagun, Rajagun platform from spiritual point of view? When does it actually become real? It doesn't even become real on Brahman platform. Even like a perfect Brahmana, at best he can understand energy of Brahman versus temporary material energy. That means you have to come to Shuddha Sattva platform to factually realize it. So what are we sharing short of that? What realization are we sharing? Sufficient Shravanam. Then I get the effects and benefits of hearing from my Guru, and I'm reminded, oh, you're eternal servant of Guru and Krishna. You don't belong to yourself. You belong to bona fide Guru. When we're not hearing that, we forget. So it's the only way to get even close to a liberated state of understanding or consciousness is in the process of doing proper Shravanam. So that you can realize.
And that's why like you're saying, like judge it by the result being some disturbance, some sentimentality, not a positive benefit, obviously not an eternal benefit, soul satisfaction from that sharing of so-called self-realization.
I was trying to leave Bhubaneswar. I tell that story. After a couple of years in India, I was trying to escape. I was cleverly trying to avoid the fight because my body type is not very good in 50 Celsius weather. Let's put it that way. So I had this bright idea that And I could see the Gurudev, he liked that I want to be helpful and to try to think to help other people. I think he likes that part. But then he said, but if you don't fully understand everything, and you have so many misconceptions, then you'll just be spreading your misconception. So that won't really help you, and it won't really help them. So first wait till, the teacher says, you've heard enough, you understand enough, you have sufficient faith and realization, you heard it perfectly, you can present it perfectly. Then he can say who's reached to that platform. Actually, he's the only one who can say, because he's perfect, authorized person who can say. And so then I stayed, say, another 2 years. And then when I think what I learned in the second 2 years, if I had left, I would have missed all of that. And that was the difference, that was required for me to actually become more qualified to be able to represent, no misunderstanding, no compromise, no material contamination or speculation or sentimentality. You cannot preach if that is all there. It's all materialistic. And it's materialistically motivated because it's on gross or subtle false ego platform.
I think you answered something else that was on my mind. People try to bring my parents and my family into Krishna consciousness, or and I tell them no, it's impossible, because they're so degraded.
Well, we got mercy.
Yeah.
So if we got mercy, anybody can get mercy.
Am I the one that's going to give them the mercy? No.
Oh, that's a different subject.
Yeah. So that's
right.
nice.
But what if Krishna wants to make you qualified? So if you agree to the process, and you sincerely cooperate and eagerly go through the process, then you can also get mercy. You can also become qualified. And then you'll be able to best help yourself. You have the best understanding, and then you can try to share that with other people, including your family. So who knows where Krishna may take you. If it's up to us, it's like, this is impossible.
So that's what I say is, again, in my position right now, I'm not capable of doing so.
Not right now.
Without the mercy of.
Not right now.
Yes.
Because we have to go through we have to become qualified. So Prabhupada says, without sufficient and proper hearing from right source, you cannot become qualified. Prabhupada said, you cannot even purify yourself. I'm just trying to purify myself. I'm trying to control my mind and senses. I'm fighting with Maya, and well, good luck with all that. That's all Krishna's energy. All we can do is surrender to the instructions of Guru and Krishna and try to beg and cry for their mercy. Then it's possible. There's a Nitya Siddha, eternally perfect. Then sadhana, by your sadhana, and then kripa siddha. So it said that my Gurudev used to say that in the Kali Yuga, you cannot achieve supreme spiritual perfection by sadhana. We do sadhana, especially hearing and chanting to Chetodapana Majjanam. We're doing it actually to get mercy. Because Gurudev asked us, we need his mercy. So the only chance we have, especially in Kali Yuga, is Kripa Siddha. The whole thing, Prabhupada says, all of the advancement in your spiritual life is more or less completely depending on the mercy of your spiritual master. and Krishna giving power of attorney to his representative. So if we don't learn how to serve and surrender there and please our spiritual master, yasha prasada bhagava prasada, yasha prasada nagati kutopi, then otherwise you can't get the mercy of the Guru, you can't get the mercy of Krishna. Prabhupada said, if you want to know if Krishna is happy with you, see if your spiritual master is happy with you. If you want like a direct connection to understand how close are you to pleasing Krishna, see how close you are to pleasing your Guru. And Krishna says, as you surrender, I reward you accordingly.
And then if I can go back to the comment you made about Native Americans.
Yeah.
So on my pilgrimage that I was referring to before.
That's probably a better way of saying it, right? Native American
Yes.
instead of
Well,
American
Indians,
Indian.
Yeah.
We're more American Indians now than before.
So I did a pilgrimage from the East Coast to the West Coast, and part of what prompted that was
East Coast, West Coast, what?
yeah, from Florida to California,
Florida, California. Yeah.
along the border, and
Are you an illegal alien?
no. If it wasn't for your mercy, I'd be an illegal alien here.
Yeah.
But no. So part of what prompted
Then
that
the question is, who's really the illegal aliens, right? But anyway,
Yeah.
let's not.
Yes. Yes.
That's a whole nother question.
I'll leave that to you. Okay.
Perspective.
Yeah. So I ended up making my way towards the Navajo reservation in Arizona,
Yeah.
and along the way, people were really trying to discourage me, devotees and non-devotees, like
Devotees are trying to what?
discourage me from going, like progressing towards the West Coast. But along the way, people were saying, and I'm not sure if it's speculation or whatever, that the 21 times that the Kshatriyas were annihilated, that the remnants of those people traveled across the Bering Strait, and that's how the Americas were populated. So is there any truth to this, and the Shastras corroborating this, or whatnot?
I don't think so. I think there was just a population in all of these different places. Of course, these different floods and different, inundations and, how different souls are moving where and there. But you can also see by the level of their spiritual faith and understanding. So they're very much worshiping nature. But most of them are also, eating animals and committing so much, sinful activities. So they have very rudimentary, when you just think of the power of nature, that's one aspect of God, right? It's His powerful creation and how it is working in terms of universal affairs. So that's some conception of absolute truth. But it's very simplistic. So you can see by that level of religion, or lack of religion, that there's some kind of other disqualification there. Right? Buddha's coming to India, going to China, other countries, and saying, don't kill anybody, right? Non-violence, ahimsa. To even make someone just to begin to become pious, there's absolutely no ability to understand spiritual life as long as you're killing animals, and eating animals. So if these civilizations are based on that, and there's little to no real spirituality, then this is, how do we say that this is coming from Vedic culture? This looks like generations of living entities that were outside of the Vedic culture. And, how and where they got to where, that's a complicated question. But you can see by their nature, their qualities, their behavior, their understanding of religion, spirituality, that looks like it can give you like a nice idea of the elevation of those people, generally, Of course, individuals are another thing. But generally speaking, it seems like there's some kind of general position of karmic, creation there. I'm not sure if you're completely satisfied with that.
Satisfied.
I mean, in one sense, you could say Bharatavash means the whole planet, right? And so if it's Satya Yuga and you have all people who are engaged in Daivi Vanashram, right? So that's like Ram Raj. It's like a spiritual world on this planet. But then I guess as the different yugas are going, more and more sinful activity and sinful reaction is coming there. And then you'll have generations of these living entities. And then how many of them are carrying over into Satya Yuga to pick up some kind of a more pious or spiritual conditioning. So I think it's also related to progression or degression of consciousness as yugas are, kind of unfolding. So if you just look at what is the consciousness, then you can understand like what yuga are they in.
I did see some correspondences with their so-called mythology or philosophy and Sanatana Dharma. But,
Yeah, it's like what is it, like cross-pollination, where you have like Egyptian religion and you have the so-called Aryans in Ireland and what are they called, the Druids, and so every one of these different there's mixtures for hundreds of thousands, millions of years. And when you have inundations and you have tribes of people moving across different places to try to stay alive, right? So there's a vast mixture, in my understanding. But it just always seems like no matter what religion you're talking about, they're just taking something from Vedic religion or culture or civilization. Like nothing is original. The only thing that's original is, Vedic culture, because that is coming directly from the Lord, right? And that's why the planet is Bharatavash. So that means the whole planet is Vedic civilization. And then as there's a degradation of Rajarshis and genuine Kshatriyas and Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, then you have all of these other types of mixtures of sin and mixtures of different types of speculative, sentimental creations or concoctions of spirituality or religious systems. You see, they have like Egyptian religion, and if you look, there's like a corresponding representative in the Vedic culture, right? Even you see the persons who built the pyramids, literally the guy who built the pyramids has tilak on. He's wearing full tilak. So, and then this is coming, say, a few thousand years ago, 4,000 years ago, right? But what happened, 5,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, after Kurukshetra? So these are just derivatives of some offshoot. And then they're getting some kind of idea and they're writing it on the cave walls, and it's like inundation of water, and then there's this boat, and then there's this big fish, and they're just describing different avatars of Krishna. And then they're just putting it in their own local way and local language and according to their traditions and the stories that their ancestors said. And then as it goes generation after generation for thousands and 10,000s of years, this whole thing is just getting watered down and changed, and then there's offshoots of different cults and religions and, different superstition and black magic and, it's just a hodgepodge. But within everything, you can see some aspect of Vedic culture, civilization, religion, Vedas. I studied it because I really wanted to try to understand it. And that's what I saw, every single one of them. And I would always just say, okay, what is the relationship with that so-called religion with Vedic culture or with the Vedas? Or like you have this, these Masons, right, in England, the Freemasons, and right, they're using astrology, astronomy, different occult type of practices, right? So it's all just something they're taking and stealing and twisting and a little bit changing, and it's somehow related. That was what I saw. But what's really funny is everyone's so attached to their body and their family and their culture that everybody is basically saying civilization started with, basically my family and friends. It's unbelievable. So then we go out from there, right? So whatever society or culture you're from, right? I saw one guy, he was making the argument that the real Aryans are from Ireland. And then it's not that, it traveled, from the east to the west. It traveled from the west to the east. And he's trying to say that these guys from these very exalted Aryans, mystics, Brahmanas, every one of these religions is starting with their people, their gods, their families, their tribes, and then everything else branches out from there. It's amazing. Egocentric religion. Yeah, that's a whole study. We can discuss other time. Any other thing?
Yeah. Actually, have you heard of this series of books? I think it's like 3 volumes of Spiritual Economics by Dineshwara Das.
Dineshwara Prabhu.
Dineshwara Das.
Yeah.
He talks about spiritual communism and this, and then he's got another book called Divine or Demoniac.
Has he figured that one out? Yeah. You see, if somebody is acting like a guru and writing books and giving lectures as a guru, then he's self-made guru. That means he's not heard and understood the absolute truth or the process or the science. It's not authorized, not bona fide. So if it's not connected to Krishna Parampara, disciplic succession, then it's very, materialistic and speculative. Of course, if people are smart, they can gather inferences and modalities and kind of universal principles and try to somehow relate that to Vedic teachings. They can get so far, only so far with that. But what does it all lead up to? What is the ultimate purpose of this type of teaching? Basically, he wants to establish Varnashram, right? He wants to establish an economic system based on Daivi Varnashram. Self-sufficient, right? Farm. Agricultural, right? But he's starting off that he's the Brahmana. So if the Brahmana is not really a Brahmana, and he's not connected to Parampara or disciplic succession, disconnected. So that means no Daivi, Then it's just what, like a man-made varnashram? And then the so-called brahmanas determine who are the intellectuals, who are the brahmanas. It's like every time they have a meeting about varnashram, they say, okay, who wants to be a brahmana? And everyone's like, right? So we're starting off with 90%, brahmanas. And the others are trying to be a little humble. They'll be like, I'll just be a kshatriya, It's like nobody's signing up for like the cow protection or the shudra work, So we're all going to start off Daivi Varnashram without the Daivi and without understanding anyone's psychophysical nature under the guidance of bona fide Guru who's representing Daivi Varnashram system. So already it's useless. Isn't it? Am I too harsh, Bob? A little bit, right? But I do it like jokingly. Does that help? Not really? Couple jokes. You asked me an honest question. And the thing is, I like this person. He's a very, very nice person. It's nothing like personal. I like him. He's my friend. He considers me a friend. He wants like anything to do something with me. Because he wants to come to Russia, and he's also going, right? And he wants people to follow him as the guru, as the founder acharya of spiritual economics, spiritual communism, right? Is that right? You have more tea? Keep me going. Keep me going in my fault-finding tendencies. Let me put on the perfect gift. Did she leave? Where is she? Where?
Behind the pillow.
Oh, you don't look healthy. What happened? You don't look healthy. Really?
Yeah, I saw her knitted.
Can I put it on?
It's for your health.
Put me out of my misery, please. Maybe bhakti will be easy for me now. That's just the way it goes. Just get yourself one of these. Stay healthy, chant pure holy name, get prema, go back to Godhead. What's the problem? Why you have to complicate it? Or you can worry about spiritual economics from the Bhagavad Gita. That'll simplify your life. Oh my God, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm Father Murley. Bob, this always happens, man. I don't know. I'm really not in charge of this situation right now. Yeah, this is the train has left the track. Has left the station, man. The train has left the station. This is warm. I'm feeling healthy already. Oh my God, what is happening to us? This is making me hot now. I'm getting too healthy with this thing. I don't want to advance that fast. This has to be a gradual process, you know what I mean? I don't want to cheat the system, you know what I mean? How's your spiritual economics doing?
Not very well, because I was never inspired to actually read the book. So.
You were inspired?
I was not
He
inspired.
didn't read the books.
It wasn't like effulgently, like grabbing you by the soul?
I didn't experience that. Should have read it.
Was it like kind of like gray and dull and like no Shakti coming out of it? Just the book. Nice, honest attempt at Gyan and speculation. In a Vedic kind of way. How about you, Mr. Physics? What's your story? What's your question today? Yeah. What do you want to talk about? I need all the help I can get right now. Krishna.
I don't have any question right now. Guru, I don't have any questions right as of right now. I don't have any questions.
You're feeling healthy? All right, any last thing? Yeah?
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev, can you speak about anartha nivritti?
How much time you have? Oh, Krishna. So, we didn't talk about that tonight? Huh? Yeah. Just chant. Be healthy. Then it's easy. All the anathas will just fly away. You'll wake up one day, you'll be like, oh my God, it's like gone. And you'll be like, wow, that was easy. Little dust on the mirror. We're in the process of Shravanam, process of purification. See, the thing is that you have so many questions, but Krishna says you have to surrender. If you want to surrender to me, you have to surrender to my representative, bona fide Guru. And you have to humbly serve in the pleasing way. Then you have right to ask questions. That was actually supposed to be the class tonight. Believe it or not. Honest to God, that was the class. I forgot all about that until you just reminded me. You see, I'm not lying. Tadvidi pranipatena, paripasnena sevaya. Yeah. Oh. Krishna said, just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. This translation is not. If you want to, Krishna says, if you want to understand me in tattva, in truth, then surrender to my representative, bona fide spiritual master. Render service unto him in a humble state of mind, then submissively inquire from them. Self-realized soul can impart this knowledge unto you because he has seen, understood the truth. So Prabhupada says, and Prabhupada says in the purport, oh, Mataji, this is Prabhupada. He's helping us today. Prabhupada says, get ready for this one. Are you ready for this one? Are you listening very closely? Sure? No? The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. Oh my God! You can't make this stuff up. That's like a perfect. Right? She said it's so easy. As long as you're healthy, it's easy. So you have that version of the truth, and then you have Srila Prabhupada's version, and he says the path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. Like, don't doubt it of how difficult it is. So who do you believe? Prabhupada or Mataji? If you had a choice, like if you had to make a choice, would you go with the undoubtedly difficult, or would you go with the extremely easy as long as you're healthy? I'm so bad. Please excuse me. The Lord therefore advises us to approach a bona fide spiritual master in the line of disciplic succession from the Lord himself. No one can be a bona fide spiritual master without following this principle of disciplic succession. I mean, how much more clear do you need it? The Lord is the original spiritual master, and a person in his disciplic succession can convey the message of the Lord as it is to his disciple. No one can be spiritually realized by manufacturing his own process, as is the fashion of the foolish pretenders. The Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.19 says, Dhammantu Sakshat Bhagavat Pranitam. The path of religion is directly coming from and explained by the Lord himself. Therefore, mental speculation or dry arguments cannot help lead one to the right path, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master in order to receive this knowledge. Such a spiritual master should be accepted in full surrender, and one should serve that spiritual master like a menial servant without any false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of advancement in spiritual life. Submissive inquiries constitute the proper combination for spiritual understanding. Unless there is submission and service, inquiries from the learned spiritual master will not be effective. So if we are not surrendered, we're not submissive, we don't have a humble menial service attitude, then just inquiring, asking questions of the spiritual master, it will not actually be effective. And in some places, Prabhupada says, if you don't do these first two things, you have no right to ask a question. Because usually it will be challenging. And if you have no faith, you're critical, and you're challenging, then what will you actually hear from such bona fide Guru? He automatically blesses that disciple with genuine spiritual understanding. He gets the right of hearing. Then with the right of hearing, by mercy of Guru and Krishna, you will get genuine spiritual understanding and realization. In this verse, Prabhupada says both blind following and absurd inquiries are condemned. Not only should one hear submissively from the spiritual master, but one must also get a clear understanding from him in submission and service and inquiries. Typo. Therefore, when the students, to let you know, I don't want to mislead you. A bona fide spiritual master is by nature very kind toward the disciple. Therefore, when the student is submissive and is always ready to render service, then the reciprocation of knowledge and inquiries becomes perfect. So this is like everything is done. So just blind following and absurd types of questions without qualifying ourselves with faith and submission to Krishna and the Guru, then your questions, and even if they answer properly, you won't hear or understand the answer anyway. Many times I saw with Gurudev, like many people like trying to answer a question. Gurudev's like, just put your hand down and try to listen to something. Guru and Krishna already know what you need to hear. Isn't it? But out of social etiquette, then the Guru may say, does anyone have a question? To make it like some interaction, what is it? Interactive, right? But actually, it's really not required. Because Krishna already knows what's to answer your question. Supposed to talk about? So at first I was a little shy to open it up. If I didn't open it up, we don't read that one sentence, isn't it? Along with everything else that's in that verse. The path of spiritual realization is undoubtedly difficult. So that answers that question. Maybe they're not feeling well. So they're just perceiving it like that. Anyone else have a question? You know I had to say that, man. That was like, I had to say that. It has to be like that. Because sometimes people, they want to be heard, right? You see different devotees, whenever they're talking, right, they want to be heard. Christina, she wanted to be heard. She wanted to share her realization, right? She already wrote me this. She told me the whole thing, isn't it? So then, who's she sharing all the realization from the hospital today? And then I had to act like, oh, really? It's very, very important realization. I never heard that before. The people. Right? Deva, this is dangerous, man. This is becoming dangerous. What happened to the Arabian horse? Kirtan, where's Kirtan? Sankirtan, where's Sankirtan? What happened to the Arabian horse?
It's supposed to come tomorrow. It's coming tomorrow.
Wow. Yes. Anyone else? Who? Uh-oh. Of course it has to be Max, right? He's going to give us the final statement. He's going to give us the conclusion.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna. It's easy. It's easy.
I just wanted to thank you today for giving class. I really enjoyed hearing from you today.
I am so happy hearing that, Max. Then what happens?
As I start listening to my own mind.
And then I became miserable. And then I became crazy again.
Exactly.
Could have been going to the Holy Dham. You could have been going to Vaikuntha. Wah, wah, wah. He gets the donkey, some hay.
Used bandage.
And then we have Sarab and his bride. Right? So Sarab and the bride come with the ass, you know? They'll take care of it for you, you know? Oh my God, it's a wedding day. I'm insulting them on the wedding day.
Gurudev,
but the question is, did you decorate the ass is the question. Did you decorate the ass? Where's Sarab? Where's Sarab? No decorations on Sarab. He had a crown. Don't go swimming, Sarab. Not with that crown on. This is the wedding. Let's go take a swim now. To the husband, you know. It's like. This is horrible. Who can even think like that? It's so sacrilegious. You're defaming the marriage ceremony. You're cheapening it. Can't we just pretend to be grihastas? Oh my God. It's like that. That's hilarious. Shut up, what happened, man? Look at this hat. Look at this hat. This will be easier when she screws him into the ground, you know? Upside down. His legs will be like... What happened to Saddam? Let me see the other picture. I feel like I was there today. It's amazing. Oh my God. Shut up, look at this picture, man. That's unbelievable. This is unbelievable. Oh my God. This is incredible. beautiful. Are you wearing earrings there? Or? You got earrings on. Come on, this is a joke, right? When's the real wedding happen? Tell me. This was just a practice, right? Is it final? Is it true? At least Sadab's laughing. The grandmother's, she's mad at me. She's not happy with my... Granny's not happy with my sense of humor. Babushka's not happy with me. And what was your part in the whole drama, Cow Lady? Mataji? What bliss and auspiciousness did you bring to this occasion?
He was like a master of ceremonies.
Master of ceremonies. Interesting. Surprising. Surprising. I told you, I always get in trouble. I always try to get out of here earlier before this happens. I tried to warn you. I was asking for a way out. Nobody helped me. Then you showed me this picture of Surab. That looks fantastic. That's great. Are they from Nepal or? Surab, you look like you're from Nepal. Does it?
Yeah, it does.
Where's the master of ceremonies? Oh, there she is. There she is. And she's just smiling like, now he's got all three of us. One big happy family. Surab, do some push-ups, man. You're gonna need to do. He's trying to understand where I went off tonight. Like at which point did the train get derailed? So we went from Vaikuntha to this wedding. Where's your airplane? Train? Now you see why I told you to get on that train 3 days ago? I was trying to warn him. He stuck around long enough. Consummated that marriage. Hmm? Oh, he got hitched, all right. What do they tie, right? It's like a tie? Yeah, it's like a tie and just like... They didn't throw it over the door yet, did they? Bob, that's some dark humor right there, man. That's some dark humor. Nobody jokes about stuff like that. Let's get serious. No guns are involved, right? Please help me to get out of this now. Anybody else, Bob? Bob's setting me up. He's just trying to keep this circus going, man, you know? The circus left town, but the clowns decided to stay, right? Love it, man. So, Max, we're all set?
I have a question. So, my question is, How can I get motivated to chant 16 rounds? Do you have any advice, Srila Gurudev?
Not really.
Okay, then why should I do it?
Not every monkey can become Hanuman. Oh man. My Buddhist Chinese doctor told me that one. I almost fell off the chair, you know? Oh. Families are leaving. It's like, this is like an outrage, you know? People are outraged. Grannies are disturbed.
Make fun of the wedding.
Huh?
Make fun of the wedding.
No, come on. Surab looked fantastic, man. I love that big screw on his head, you know? Looked like fantastic, you know? Just screw him right in. It used to be like diet, now it's like screw it in, you know? Forget about tired of it. We're gonna screw this. This thing is eternal, man. Where'd you get that? You look like you went to hell, man. Oh my God. Will they ever forgive me for this? Huh? Will they forgive? 1, 2. Please help me to get out of this. Can I possibly end this on like a positive note? Is it even possible now? Is it impossible? Will anyone take it seriously? Or should I just like cut my losses and just like let everyone recover? See who comes back tomorrow? Good, can I also get married? Sure, no problem. Another happy customer. They'll just be like planted around the temple, you know? These are the ones who didn't make it, you know? The hat was too tight, you know? We never could get him out after that, you know? It's not easy to get out of Maya. Especially now. So, please forgive me if I've offended anybody, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, unconsciously, past, present, and future. Can we just solve this all right now, once and for all? Do you guys need any more shlokas tonight? Shlokas for the folks. Where's the shloka? The whole thing was a shloka. If you understood the purport, if you really think about it. So, okay. I'm gonna leave now. I gotta get out of here. I gotta take off right now. I get an appointment.
Go for shopping.
After the marriage. Oh my God. At least you're smiling. That's good. I mean, that ceremony is meant to be happy? So this is like a funny, happy wedding. Don't you think? So what are they complaining about? She doesn't know what to do with any of this information. A perverted reflection of the perverted reflection. I have bewildered her bewildering. It has become ever more clear as time goes. Well, it can only go up from here, you know? That's the way I look at it. And when he's screwed in the ground, he'll be saying the same thing. I can only go up, you know what I mean? This thing can only go so far down. There's a limit to that screw, you know what I mean? The only thing worse than that is if they dug a hole and just threw you in there. Forget about the screw, you know? Go wide, go deep. Let's celebrate this thing once and for all, man. Throw some flowers in there, some swaha. We'll just continue the celebration, you know what I mean? Like, why stop there, you know what I mean? Oh my God, get me out of here. I feel trapped, you know? Oh my God. At least I have a cane. That's like a little serious. All right, let's go. Thank you all for the experience. I'm glad it was so easy for you tonight. All right, Max, you got it all figured out?
I have one more question.
Save it for tomorrow, Max.
I hope nobody taped this. Let's send this to the GBC. They'll love it. That'll be fantastic. Where are the marriage couple? Let's give them a garland. Here's a garland for you. Give to your wife.
God, that was hilarious.
And give to your guru. Where's your guru? Very nice. Surrendering. And here, this is for you.
You don't get one. You already got the you get the helmet. That helmet, you should put it on the altar, man. Never forget that moment. Never forget this class. They survived it, right? Don't worry, you'll be all right. At least we're laughing about it. This could be a lot worse, don't you think? All right. You guys get serious. Will you? You're not serious.
All your doubts dispelled? No.